John Piper with the Tuesday video, and it's Tuesday the 9th of April, starting with gold this morning. I said at the weekend that I'll be looking to issue a big call. Let's just go over the positives at the moment. We have the low that came in 1160, a nice spike low. We've got a complete 5 waves up to here, followed by this A, B, and now a C, which could be complete. A bit subnormal, both in terms of time and price. In terms of time, we had a 6-month rally. Now we've had a decline lasting around about 6 weeks, a bit less in fact. Similarly, in terms of price, we've only just retraced the 38.2% level, which is this line here. So one cannot rule out further downside here. Now, when I issue a big call, it's really meaning, what I'm saying is I believe that there's a major trend in place, and that this is a good opportunity to get involved with that trend if that suits your own investment criteria. This actually is a reiteration of the big call on gold. We went long with gold in 2009. I issued a few additional buy signals since then. So I think most of you perhaps already have gold stocks, etc. It's not so much a spread betting position. I mean, you can of course spread bet this. You've got the lows down here as a potential stop point. So that's certainly one way of doing it. Personally, I have gold coins, stocks, ETFs, etc. So it's a matter of personal choice again how you do that. So look at the shorter term act. Right, well, this is a C wave decline as I'm counting it, and we have got 5 waves down there. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's all one. Third wave, then a 4, and then a 5. So that's complete. They've got a 1, 2, possible 3. This could be a 4, with the 5 perhaps coming in here to go a little bit higher before we see a bit of a sell-off. I mean, you may want to wait for the sell-off. So how you do this is up to you. So what I'm saying is that I believe we're in a major trend here, that we want to be on board in the ways I've just outlined. I also discussed this in the weekend video, which again, there may be some additional points there you can pick up. So if you want to spread bet this, then the obvious stop point is there. Or you could use that one there. I wouldn't be too close to around here at the moment. I think I'd wait for this pattern to complete, as it were. I mean, we're going to see a 5th wave here. Then we could easily retrace below 1300 again, and that would of course put people off. People become a bit bearish, perhaps, which is what you expect. What I don't like is a great mass of people all saying the same things, like buy gold. And we have in fact got that with quite a few different services saying gold is a place to be, blah blah blah, as I have been for a long time in fact. So it's difficult, it's not ideal. I'd rather people were all saying sell gold. That's a far better time to buy than when we're saying buy gold. Anyway, that's how it is. It's looking good to me. I'm invested in this, and so it's up to you whether you want to do this. Right, silver has a very similar pattern from this low, which came in November. So we've got a 1, 2, 5 part 3, 4 and 5, followed by an A, a B, and a C. Now this ABC actually is better in the sense that it has hit the 50% level and a bit more in fact. So, and it's also in terms of time a bigger percentage of the actual time spent rallying. So it's looking like silver is perhaps a slightly better bet in that sense, because gold, let's say, has a slightly subnormal correction, but the same basic parameters. Good spike there, which would be a good point for stops if you want to use stops. Let's look at the shorter term on this one. Right, off the low, not quite such a clear pattern here. A good spike again, a double spike in fact. That's always quite encouraging. Maybe a 1 to there, that's a 2 down to there, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's a 5th coming in. Bit difficult to count really. I mean, there are a few spikes here. That's perhaps quite a good one if you want to use stops. So it depends on how you're doing this. I mean, when I say whether you want to use stops, I'm talking about stock positions or ETF positions. I tend not to use stops on those positions. I would use stops on spread betting positions. But this is more about the investment side, and I prefer to hold these things longer term rather than digging in and out. I do dig in and out as well, but it's when it's a big call, I want to be positioned for that move, not worried about it every day, as it were. I take now to Bitcoin, and Bitcoin I think is going to be a stronger trend than gold. We've got this one the low came in December, almost the anniversary of the date of the previous year's high. ABC2, now a 1, a 2, and then a 1, 2, and a 3. Perhaps this could be an ABC4 coming in, so a bit more downside perhaps due here. We'll see a fifth wave rally. At the moment, I think having seen the third of a third, I'm not too inclined to add positions at this point in time. I think we're going to go higher. I'm just not sure we're going to go much higher because before we see a reasonable pullback. Let's have a look at the longer term chart here. Right, one interesting fact about this chart is that the low here, which came in around 5,100 or thereabouts, all of this gain here between that low, and the peak around almost 20,000 came in a few weeks. I think less than a month in fact from that peak, and we're very close now to getting up to that level. Also support around here, already broken the trend line, the down trend line off the top, and that's when this rally came in. So it looks to me that we're going to challenge this area probably into this fifth wave, and then perhaps fall back in a correction, leaving the bulls and the bears in some doubt about what's going on before the next thrust comes up, which I believe will be a much stronger one, a third wave rally in fact, to take us back to challenge those previous highs. I'm not saying how long that'll take. I mean, we're now in April, but I would think by the summer we'll be well on the way, as it were. And I think we're going to see I believe we're going to see new highs here at some point. So this is another important market, depending on your personal wishes, as it were, and your financial objectives, which are an important aspect of your investment. You should ideally have some particular targets and aims with your investment strategies to meet whatever it is that your wants are. And return to the first chart, as I said, we've got the clear 1, 2. This is all part of a third wave at the moment, with 4 and 5 still to come. So it's looking good to go higher with the setbacks, but as I say, I think the acceleration phase is this bit here. So I'm expecting it to slow down a bit, but a move above 6,000 will certainly likely in this phase. I'm not quite sure how much further it will go beyond that at this time. Alright, finally on cryptos, we've got to look at Carat Bank Coin, or Carat Gold Coin as it's called. This is something I suggested to people back in February last year, about 14 months ago. We got in pre-ICO at half a cent. It hit 10 cents up here, so that's 20x. So we've got what looks like a 1, and we've got an A, a B, now it looks like a C wave coming in, although there's no confirmation that's over yet. But if so, there's going to be another explosive move up. So if you didn't get in the first time, I mean, it's already, because Bitcoin's rallied quite strongly, I think it's about up to about, it's coming around 6 cents at the moment. So it's up 12x already. So up here it was that's less than 2x from the current level. It looks quite savage, of course. But when things double like this, they do look quite savage. But the next rally, which I believe is a third wave, could take us quite a lot higher. So KBC is a coin that, again, if you're interested in that sort of market and that sort of risk return, risk reward, I should say, then this chart, I'd perhaps wait for more confirmation. But and of course you can use stops if you want to on these markets. So that is another aspect of this. You could actually put in place a position which was protected in some way or another, but personally I prefer to protect it by having a smaller size. I mean, given the volatility, you don't necessarily want to be stopped out by a few pence and then finally got to reposition yourself, whereas just sitting with it can still give you quite good returns. I should say this is actually the HIT BTC exchange. You also trade KBC on Yobit. Right, it's been quite a long report, so I'll go through the equities quite quickly. DAX peaked back in February last year, big ABC decline. We're now having trouble around 11,980, which is where A equals C, so this could be an A, B, C of some sort, but there's not much sign of a peak. Let's have a look at the shorter term action. Extremely dithery really. I mean, this looks like a fairly corrective decline down to there. This could be a B wave, so it could be what a C wave decline to come in, but it all looks corrective at the moment. Nothing to get too excited about. Right, FTSE ditto, ABC decline down to there. This looks pretty impulsive on FTSE, in fact. I mean, FTSE is very subdued in the sense it saw 7,000 in 1999, so very much underperforming. This could be 1, 2, 1, 2. No obvious count there at the moment, but I think FTSE seems fairly determined to get higher at this point, and I think the market is reading some positive stuff into the EU catastrophe, as it were, and which I tend to agree with. I think the UK will probably at the end of the day come out quite well from this thing, and I say it's compared to other markets, it's well undervalued. Wall Street is similar, really. It does seem to want to go higher. Maybe this is actually a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 1, 2, 3. I think new highs. I think pretty much a given at this point. Maybe not on this particular rally, but having got so close, it's very rare that the Dow doesn't make it to new highs. I say being so close to that level, as it were. That's all for today. If you found it interesting and useful, back to the report on Thursday morning. It's planned to be a written report, so we can outline the big calls in place at the moment, which is what we do in that report. Have a great day, thanks for listening, and bye for now.